Welcome back to the Play On podcast with Jesse and Jerry. I didn't hesitate that time, Jesse. Episode 111. It just took 111 episodes for me not to hesitate. Um, yeah, dude. We missed last week. We had a bunch of things going on, but we're gonna catch up. But first, the Bulls got the number fourth pick. We went from 9 to 4. We'll take it. Jesse doesn't seem too happy about it, but I am.
Yeah, well, it wasn't I feel like it wasn't a spot that I would have wanted. If it was a good jump up, but I wanted us to get Peterson in this upcoming draft. I don't really like anyone else as a prospect.
It
So,
happens. Yeah. They
and plus
couldn't rig it too hard for us, dude. They couldn't do it.
I mean they did it for Dallas. They did it for Washington. The last was the past two teams AD's been on, they got the number one pick.
That's true. That means we just have to trade for AD.
But it's crazy because we went up in the basketball, but we also fell in hockey. Because in hockey we had the second best odds and they dropped to fourth.
Hey, they can't make us win. There's a conspiracy theory going around on TikTok saying that uh the NBA owner, not owner, president got tired of the Bulls being a mediocre team because they're such a huge team. They have a huge market. They're probably the the biggest city in the NBA, but they're yet not doing anything and not being competitive. They have such a big grasp with people because of Jordan. They're not taking advantage of it, that they purposely told the owner, like, hey, we're sending in our people, the black cars roll up, and we're giving you what is it, the GM, the operations of basketball, the new guy.
Hmm.
But, like, that's normally someone the owners would never pick. But Adam Silver was like, here's my guy, my next prospect. This dude, he's gonna solve the whole situation for you. Because out of nowhere, he also goes on TV. The owner of the Bulls goes on TV saying like, "Yeah, if we have to tap into the luxury tax, we will," which he hasn't said that before.
Yeah, I think it's just everyone's being tired of him as an owner because even in baseball for the White Sox, he's basically they're buying him out, so they're getting a new owner. And for I think when Adam Silver saw that he was gonna fully focus on basketball, I was like, listen, man, we can't be having the same thing running through again. You, we've seen it's been 30 something years since Michael Jordan. We've seen that you can't handle a team without having a Michael Jordan level talent on your team. So we got to change things up because you obviously can't do it.
Yeah, he needs all the help he can get, and I appreciate it, Adam Silver. Next time, just give us the top pick, not the fourth. Because again, it's in an awkward spot, and we just have to hope one of our guys drops. But back to football. Um, Champions League, Jesse. Arsenal made it through.
Yeah, it was
A fantastic game.
yeah, just
No, it wasn't.
I
It
can't
was
I
such a
can't.
bad game. That's why we should probably talk about it first. There wasn't much going on.
Yeah, they had
We
that tap in, and then people were praising Saka for having an amazing game, being a clutch player, all this crazy PR, whatever bullshit. Yeah, and then also they denied Atletico Madrid a penalty
Yeah.
because they're trying to push this English narrative. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, that penalty
They
denial was
deserve to be there.
insane. Like they called that foul, which first of all was Gabriel foul because he kicked the player. So in my opinion, they could have called two penalties. The Gabriel on the Atletico Madrid player, I think it was Fubil, and then the Griezmann, who I forgot who touched him. I think
Calafiori.
Calafiori stepped on his foot, and the ref called it for Arsenal. Which, hey man,
Yeah,
I don't know how they
yeah,
do it,
man.
but that match was
Uh,
horrible.
yeah, we do know how they do it. They got the refs on their back pocket because of they need this PR, this the higher board is clearly helping them because it wasn't just that instance this past week.
It was all for the humiliation ritual that's going to happen in the Champions League final because we have PSG, a huge
Favorite.
team favorite. Well, the English media might not paint it like that because Arsenal, we've only conceded what 5 goals in the Champions League. We'll get ready to concede six. Um, yeah, we have the masterclass of a coach, Luis Enrique, and then him and Vincent Company actually had a decent fight as far as on the pitch. Um, when it came to that second leg.
Yeah, it was a good game. There was a lot of mixed controversies that some people want to blow out proportion, but I think it was straightforward. The first one they're trying to get the handball in the minutes to get him a red, but where's it? Keimer handballed it first, so that obviously annuls that one. And the
Hmm.
second one where it was just a clearance and accidentally hit Joel Neves' arm. Like if that gets called a penalty, like the ball is gone, dude.
Like you really think he's trying to, to stop the
Stop it.
ball
Yeah, stop a clearance.
yeah, from a clearance. That doesn't make sense. I get if it was going at goal, because it obviously it's interfering into a goal, but yeah, it's weird. Um, what is it? Did you like Luis Enrique's tactic for the goal kicks?
Uh,
That he kept indicating his what is it?
go,
His goalkeeper to kick the ball out of bounds towards Elisa's side.
yeah, to have him what is it? Recover like defend basically.
And so just no, his well the reasoning was so Elisa couldn't have minimal space and they can't play on the right side so they can switch it
Yeah,
fast to the left.
they overload. Yeah. I I think sure it works, but I also feel like it was somewhat overblown because I think it was just I think they were doing it for different purposes, and that was just a side effect. I don't think that was the main point of it, but I think it was somewhat effective.
Yeah, I think so too, because it you just force the other side to play rather than Elisa's side. And I think Bayern Munich is very heavily favorited on Elisa's side. That's where all the danger does come from. So being forced to go to the left instead of the right is obviously a huge disadvantage for Bayern Munich. Even then, because Luis Diaz, he was playing right,
Hmm.
and you would think Luis Diaz is a really good player, but he was
Which
still having struggles going outside rather like he had more success going inside than outside.
yeah, and then also I want to call out another Englishman for disappearing in the game again. Harry Kane, where the fuck were you at?
Man, dude, that was my Ballon d'Oro shout, and now it's I think he kind of lost it because he had a goal that game.
Well, oh yeah, the penalty. The man that scores meaning the
No, it
most.
wasn't a penalty.
Wasn't it?
The
Oh,
second
the
leg
tap.
wasn't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The tap in.
The yeah, the one where he yeah, man. Listen, he scored the most meaningless goals in the history of football.
It's the goals to rally them back into the game.
Meaningless goals. He is the most overrated player I've seen. The amount of PR the English media has done for him. Because don't forget, Michael Richards in 2022 said Harry Kane and Karim Benzema were on the same level.
One man carried his French side to a league title at 18. I'll say that.
Yeah, so I don't want to hear it. He disappeared again in a big game. He was nowhere to be seen. I do feel bad for Musiala because I feel like he still hasn't recovered from his injury, and it's kind of hindered his confidence. He doesn't look the same player,
Hmm.
that's unfortunate because he was one of the brightest talents in the game. So hopefully he does recover.
Yeah, it's been a weird season for him. He was just dealing with injuries all year. Like he would come back from a big injury, then have like an injury for 2 months, come back from a big injury, and then have another injury. So maybe this was just a little bit of rhythm he could get towards a huge World Cup. But yeah, it does suck for him because I think if they definitely did had him back, they could probably he could probably cause a lot more danger in the middle. But I think PSG, even then, their defense was really on par for the second leg. I think they realized in the first leg they were way too open. They had to close up and tighten up spaces.
Yeah, and I gotta give a shout out to William Pacho. He played
Hmm.
like a real defender, like a old school defender, where he put his body on the line and did not care what happened.
Definitely.
I
And that
respect
was
that.
someone I thought it was a weak point for PSG last season, and I thought they could probably Steves
Same.
could expose that, but now he's showing out to be a really good defender alongside Marquinhos. So just shout out to Pacho.
Yeah, you gotta give a shout out to PSG's scouting team because if someone says they knew about Pacho before PSG signed him, they are lying. Because no one, it blew under everyone's radar when they signed him from Eintracht Frankfurt. Because most people, when they think of that, they think of like the Premier League signs tackers that have gone over.
Because they got the Bournemouth guy too, no?
Yes, the Ukrainian center back,
Yeah.
and because they thought that he might be able to like upgrade, but he hasn't been able to crack the starting 11 because Pacho's been so good.
If it gave competition to Pacho and Pacho rose up to the occasion and he just solidified his spot. in that 11. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's been so good all year. I think he's probably been their better center back. Marquinhos still has that leadership quality in him, but you see that his physical abilities have been declining. But he's still a good enough center back for now. But I think, uh, yeah, eventually he'll probably be replaced in that leadership role by Pacho because the way he was taking control in that game against Bayern, that's a really good player.
Now, to guess, what do you think is going to be the scoreline for that final?
Ah, hopefully it's like 10-0. I want
I
I want to
I
see him cry.
I have a huge well, not upset, but I have a huge win margin. I think it's gonna be like 6-0. Um, I don't know. I've been watching Arsenal games because we'll get into that topic right now, the Premier League. Um, Arsenal's playing very scared. I think a commentator in Spanish said it best that when Arsenal scores first, they don't try to score another. They're just too worried about conceding one rather than trying to like score again.
I hope it's like last year's final against Inter where they just completely dominate them. I just hope it's a bigger scoreline.
Because Ben White is potentially out for the final.
Yeah, it was funny because they're just it doesn't matter really because they're all gonna just get it taken to by Due, Barcola, Kvaratskhelia. Anyone could get it really.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I wonder what Luis Enrique is gonna do because if we'll be biased if we say that Arsenal is not good defensively because that's all they do. But how is Luis Enrique gonna crack that? I think it's gonna be through that what the right back side where Ben White was supposed to play, just because I think Mosquera's gonna be forced to play there, and he's normally a left-sided center back, and he's also plays left back too, so he's gonna have to play an inverted right back.
Yeah, but I think the biggest problem that Arsenal's gonna have, like we said from a Pep strategy that we've had, is that PSG is basically the upgraded version of that with the amount of pressure they provide. And even
Hmm.
their starting tactic where they send the ball over to the side so they could begin pressuring so they could get a short counterattacks. We've seen that their center backs and their midfield can't carry the ball or pass it forward to the forwards. So how are they going to do this now with the PSG team that pressures like no other?
I was gonna say, how
They,
are they gonna deal with Dembele for just pressing Raya every 2 seconds?
yeah, exactly. They're just gonna pressure them like insane, and then they recover the ball like, and they all go for it. They're all capable of playing midfielders,
No,
and then they're like the forwards. They can't create anything. Like I'm expecting another Salah pulled leg again, or Salah Saka.
Saka. Salah catching a stray.
I, I see the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think if if I'm Luis Enrique, I'm happy I got Arsenal because you do have a coach that is scared to go forward. Compared to Atletico Madrid with the Simeone, like they're not scared to go forward because their tactic was to defend back then and then counterattack quickly.
Hmm.
But when it comes to Arteta, it's just like, no, let's hold the lead and not concede.
Yeah, that's what you mentioned previously. Like, oh, except the English Mirror. I've seen the English Mirror say, yeah, Arsenal pulls out the upset 1-0.
No. Because even then, like again, Arteta's inexperienced, whereas Simeone has been in a final and knows what it takes. How many finals have they been in? One, right? Two?
Simeone,
Yeah,
Champions League finals.
two, right?
Uh,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was two because it was the first one in
there's
2015,
two, two,
2014.
two Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, with Simeone, that's why. Well, Simeone has just been two
uh,
recent times. But he knows what it takes and he knows what to do in a final. So, and to potentially win it because he's had to do little things, but hasn't came out on top. But with Arteta, I don't know. And they're even thinking about re-signing him. I think they're in talks. Arsenal is.
yeah, please do, so you could keep on losing.
But yeah, we'll get into Premier League now. Jesse said Arsenal's cheating.
Hey, listen, two games, two very favorable decisions for Arsenal. They're up against West Ham. West Ham is up against for relegation against Spurs. West Ham need to win, so they were going for it. Arsenal barely get a goal as usual, and they were stuck defending. Uh, I can't remember. It was West Ham. They had a set piece. They go in, they score, but then VAR and everyone else comes in and they say no goal because the West Ham player was impeding Raya. And it's funny because that's exactly what Arsenal have been doing
all season.
all season. Set pieces, corners, you name it, they've been impeding him. They said, "Oh, he's grabbing him." We literally have pictures and videos of Arsenal players doing the exact same thing of impeding this goalie, far worse than anything else I've seen. But yet this is called a no goal because of it. But Arsenal get away with it all year. It's it's barbaric. Because even Peter Schmeichel has come out and said, "Yeah, this is completely bullshit. That Arsenal have done this all year, and for it to be called in favor for them is the worst thing he's seen."
Yeah, they're trying to help them as much as they can. I know the people are tired of Man City winning the league, but it's like you don't have to cheat to beat them. Even this is a pretty bad Man City side. Well, I want to say pretty bad. Again, this whole season with Man City, they've been a lot of VAR decisions that went against them. I think even Bernardo Silva has touched upon it. There's a bunch of red cards that didn't get called on. A bunch of illegal goals were against them, but. Man, this is what they gotta do to defeat Pep, dude. They said,
Well, sorry to interrupt you, but
"Oh, you're
I
good.
just you know the Gary Neville podcast with Roy Keane and the other
Stick to football."
yeah, what's the other guy's name? The Arsenal one?
Phillips, or it's right.
Yeah, that guy. You see the PR change that they've switched over to?
Mm.
They said, how is it that Man City still has 115 charges against them and they're allowed to compete in this title race? We're over here playing it fair, but how are we supposed to compete with a team that could just throw money at it? I'm like, brother, what about the money you've just spent?
Yeah, I was gonna
What,
say like every Premier League club has been spending a lot. No one's raising an eyebrow for Chelsea, Arsenal, and even then, like Man City were winning at the time consistently when it comes to like Premier League titles, like FA Cups. They're winning consistently, whereas Arsenal, they're spending all this money, but there's no money to back
no,
or titles to back it up with money. Because the reason I'm mentioning titles is because you get more money if you win titles.
yeah, that's why it's easier to go through or save a team through money crisis if you can win the titles because there's just a major influx of money coming in. Like even like the Champions League, just getting to the later stages of it, you get a whole lot more money. That's why it's so crucial for big teams to make it far in the Champions League because they give you so much money.
Where Arsenal
And
hasn't even been in the Champions League. I think this is their second year in the Champions League in a row.
yeah, second or third.
I think it is second. Well, whatever. It was but Man City has been in the Champions League for a minute, like since the 2015 and up, consistently going for deep runs and at least making it in the knockout stages compared to Arsenal. At one point they weren't even competing for anything in Europe.
Yeah, they were stuck in Europa League, but yet they're over here having spent like $1 billion on that squad too. And yeah, he's over here complaining, switching the PR. He's like, yeah, I just think it's admirable how Arsenal and then he's like, oh, he remembers, oh yeah, and Liverpool were competing against this Man City team that has no limit in money and can do whatever they want. And he's like, I'm just like, all right, man, this is so hypocritical and so just trying to change the narrative of what they are.
Yeah, it's insane. But yeah, Man City has their match coming up, and again they have to win the last two matches, and Arsenal has to stumble on the last match day, which is
The
against
Arsenal has two, Man City has three left. They just have the Crystal Palace or no, the Chelsea final. So they have 4 games left.
who Man City?
Yeah, because they still haven't made up the extra match.
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, so Arsenal still has Burnley, I think away, and then Crystal Palace
Right,
home,
right.
and then
No, Crystal Palace. Give me a second. I have the thing pulled up. So Man City has Crystal Palace this Wednesday, May 13th.
hmm
This weekend Arsenal has. Oh no, they play on Monday. Arsenal has Burnley.
hmm
Tuesday, May 19th, Man City has Bournemouth away. That's a tough match. This Sunday, May 24th is the last match day, and it's Man City versus Aston Villa and Crystal Palace versus Arsenal at Crystal Palace. So again, Man City has to win these last three games to make it competitive, and hopefully Arsenal stumble for them and the world. Not just them, but oh, it's tough because I think the Bournemouth match is insane. That stumble against Everton was probably the dumbest thing for Man City because they were up 1-0.
Yeah, and then it was just that Mark Guehi mistake just changed the whole atmosphere of the game. And it's just like it's tough because once momentum changes, it's very hard to get back.
Especially like at a stadium like Everton. I've been saying that like Everton has been playing pretty good at home. And that's without Jack Grealish, the drunk. The reason I'm saying that is because he got pictured drunk, plastered, passed out at a club or whatever in the middle of the day or something, and no one's talking about it. You're the one that told me like God forbid it's Marcus Rashford and it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. I'm gonna make that the thumbnail too, by the way.
Yeah, and I think yeah, because we were talking about it and then we just forgot to bring it up because it was like 2 weeks ago or something like that.
Hmm.
And then I got more tweets like about it. I saw, and it was just literally the similar situation we're talking about, like this one guy bad mouthing Marcus Rashford. And it's like, "Y- how come you don't do this for Jack Grealish?" Because he was like literally praising or like saying, "Oh, dude, someone just give him like a warm shoulder to lean on or help the poor guy out." But he's over here like,
They shouldn't be photographing him. But even Jude Bellingham too. Like he was getting uh, criticized this season for apparently going out when he's like 20 years old.
yeah, they're over here criticizing Jude Bellingham. But where's the criticism for Phil Foden?
He signed a new Man City deal, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy the double standards that the English media plays.
I'm surprised. I thought he was gonna leave this season, especially with the playing time. But I guess the money must be good.
Yeah,
But it's more scenarios for the Premier League. Tottenham and West Ham are still battling out for relegation. Tottenham just tied,
with Leeds.
and then West Ham got robbed by Arsenal 1-0. So there's still a 2 point difference between them. West Ham 36, Tottenham 38. Who has the
Yes.
tougher match?
Uh, I don't know, but I know from the math they both have two fixtures left. West Ham basically has to, what is it, win out, and then I think what is it?
Tottenham just has to win one.
Yeah,
So now, interesting. Tottenham faces Chelsea away Tuesday, May 19th.
that's
That's
an
next
easy
week.
win. That's an easy win. Have you seen Chelsea's recent form?
I know.
Horrendous.
So they just got to beat Chelsea, or they got to beat Everton on the last match day. Let's see for West Ham. Oh my God,
Of
my laptop's about to blow up.
A funny stat from Spurs that we just heard about that they have not received a single penalty this year in the Premier League. No penalties.
Oh, it's because they don't play inside the box. That's why.
That's hilarious. That's a crazy stat to have. Imagine.
I know. Then West Ham's games are Sunday, May 17th versus Newcastle at Newcastle.
That's
Newcastle
tough.
is no, well, it depends because Newcastle isn't at their best form. I watched the podcast with Alan Shearer and who's the Newcastle guy? Michael Richards and the striker.
Alan Shearer is the one from
Oh,
Newcastle.
Gary Lineker, that's what I was confusing. Yeah,
Gary Lineker is
Lineker and
from.
Alan Shearer. And he's even said that Newcastle's just been horrible. So
Yeah, there's reports
possible.
about their coach getting fired, Eddie Howe,
Hmm. And then the last match they to possibly save their season if they win both and Tottenham lose two is against Leeds at home. It's going to be interesting. I'm definitely watching these matches. I think these are matches are pretty interesting, especially because it's two potentially giant in England clubs fighting it out for to stay in the first division. Oof. Okay. La Liga. I guess we'll go to that. Jesse, first time in history, Barcelona wins the title against their bitter rival Real Madrid. Um, Real Madrid didn't look like they were ready to play. I think they were just dreading this match.
Yeah, I think with the recent drama that everything's happened, we just saw that clearly. I was going into this game just looking to see who's going to fight for the badge, and we clearly saw two groups of people that were forced to play together because there are some people that just obviously didn't want to play with each other. There's obviously animosity towards each other, and then there's some that were just. We just saw the difference of like who was playing for the job and who was playing for the badge, because some were obviously trying like Brahim uh, was the only focus of attacking player that was doing something. Jude was at least fighting, running around, trying to produce something. And Trent, he actually defended for once. He tried defending. That's
He
good.
tried defending. That's funny. Yeah, he actually had a pretty good showing. He didn't. Fermin would get the better of him, but then Trent would recover so well, and that was the annoying part. But who are the two groups you're talking about?
Uh, well,
'Cause I know there's
there's
a Real Madrid civil war going on at the moment.
subdivisions of each group where they're just like they're aligned with each or like they're supposedly there with each other because of like different reasons, but they're like others are there because they just don't like the other one. Because obviously the big one is Valverde versus Tchouaméni.
Mhm.
Valverde doesn't has problems with or Tchouaméni has problems with Valverde because of he didn't like how he treated Xabi Alonso
Mhm.
because he really liked him and he trusted him, and he felt like he was being treated unfairly by Valverde especially, and the way he acted towards him. So he's never there's been a tension between that, and that's just been escalating until the recent fight that happened between them.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Real quick, do you believe that cut in the on the face is due to the table?
Yeah, obviously.
I don't think so.
No, the him falling isn't true. He obviously Tuchemani obviously hit him,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
and he fell that way. But the I don't. Yeah, so
But yeah,
he hit the table
yeah.
and he got that cut.
Go on, go on.
But yeah, and then the rest. I think people align Jude and Vinny together, but I think that's only because they both have problems with Mbappe. Jude has problems with the way Mbappe is, the whole perception of him, the way he's acted, the way he's carried himself. He doesn't feel like it's leading the team correctly, and he's looked like he's the real leader of the team. Vinny just doesn't like sharing the pitch with Mbappe. I think they get along well outside of it. It's just that they just don't, he wants to be number one, and Mbappe is impeding that. And then there's also Spanish players and like other players in general that don't fuck with Arbeloa because he's been isolating them because he plays his favorites.
Yeah, Carreras, who was an undoubted starter for Xavi Alonso, is just getting overshadowed by Ferland Mendy and then Fran Garcia, which Fran Garcia was pretty much out of the club
Yeah.
in January.
So that's been going on. There's just so many different fights between other teams, and it's just led to like this deterioration, say, of where Real Madrid is.
Hmm.
And the biggest culprit for me is Florentino Perez, who's allowed this to happen. Because if he would have stopped it at first with giving Xabi Alonso the power, we wouldn't be in the state.
Yeah, which was the biggest thing for Florentino is he didn't want to lose Vinicius because of his marketing and how he's so marketable. But who knows? He might still end up losing him because the contract talks are still going on, but there's still no renew. His contract ends next season, right? The end of next season,
Yeah, 2027.
and I think he's gonna leave.
Yeah, people keep on saying who should we sell, Vinny or Mbappe? Just sell them both.
That is a solution. Who would you bring?
For the forward line,
And as a coach,
as a coach, they fired my coach. They fired my coach.
yeah, I don't
I,
think
I
there's a situation where they he comes back, especially under this presidency. If it's a different presidency, I think he'll come back.
Yeah, I think the only way he comes back is if he gets a full thing, but I think it's gonna be years from now where it's like a different group of players because
Yeah.
he's obviously because it's funny because everyone said when he came in the training session, he's like, dude, am I a fucking daycare worker? Because I just children here. And it hasn't his words haven't been any truer. Like it's carried over and then it's like, oh, he was right. I know a lot and it pissed me off because a lot of Madrid fans, I saw a couple or like the one from the one from that English podcast, the Iraqi guy.
Hmm.
He was over here talking about, oh, when things were looking better with between Arbeloa, he's like, oh, hire Xabi Alonso back and fire him again because he obviously was a problem or whatever. And it's like, dude, you're fucking mental. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, and it looks like now he's get Florentino Perez has taken over the whole thing and he's gonna be like, I'm hiring Mourinho back. But apparently Mourinho's gonna get complete control this time, so maybe that helps,
That's
but
what we
I don't
heard before, dude, with
Xabi Alonso, but
Xabi
that's why I
Alonso.
said
And we'll
so
see what happens with
the squad turnover because he said they're
because
saying this can be different, but I don't
Not
know.
even that, because well, I was gonna talk about it. If they do hire Mourinho, there's always one player that Mourinho axes all the time, and it's like a fan favorite. Remember with Özil?
Yeah.
Özil with them, and Chelsea, who was it? Uh, forgot who it was, but then Tottenham, it was famously Dele Alli. He kind of killed his whole career. Um, yeah, there's just been a bunch of examples. Man U, who was it?
Well, I mean, and it's come can be funny because he's coming in after the whole Vinny incident where he basically turned everyone against himself. So
Yeah.
I wonder how he's going to come in and try to reclaim the locker room from that because he should be off to a bad start. But yeah, I don't know. Apparently, we're not going for young prospects this summer. We're going for experienced players, veterans that can help take leadership roles and take control of the locker room. But
But
yeah, I
even
just
it's gonna be like how are the players gonna accept that veteran leadership
yeah,
if
that's why
they're gonna yeah, it
I
doesn't make sense.
yeah, it's just like you're just gonna have to start cutting some people out and see who goes. But yeah, man, I just don't know how it goes. It depends. I feel like this is gonna be more of a process than just a one summer quick fix.
Hmm.
Because also you can't just change the whole squad because that just leads to so many chemistry issues and things like that. But yeah.
Yeah, because if you change, say there's like a cell of six players, right? And then you bring six players in, you're probably not gonna have success that season. Maybe you have better success next season, but even that season it's gonna be chalked out right away. So
Yeah, it's similar to like we've seen with Atletico Madrid for the past 2 years, where
yeah.
they bring in basically a full like new 11 or whatever. They struggle in the beginning of the year and then they like get their form again. But they just it takes time for like players to build that trust with each other.
And it's something probably Florentino doesn't want to go through because if they do start off rough, and then it's funny too because Real Madrid they were not playing well with Xabi Alonso, right? Like in games, but they were winning.
Well, they were playing certain times, but then you could also see why they weren't playing well because certain players weren't listening
Yeah,
to his
so they
instructions.
weren't following him. So like, do you think Florentino's gonna Perez is gonna have the patience for these six new players and it starts off rough? December, you're down 7 points. He's probably
No,
gonna fire the manager.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that's a problem with having patience because it's been 2 years now where the trophies haven't been there. He's gonna want a quick fix for next year, but that does not gonna happen, and that just doesn't isn't allowed at Real Madrid. So I just wonder how it's gonna go.
Remember, Jesse? Everyone said it was the downfall of Barcelona a couple years ago. That we haven't won titles in 2 years, and now it's Real Madrid's turn.
Yeah,
Let's see how the club turns out.
yeah, and it's just that I feel like it could be a quick fix if the board was different because they would actually do the right thing
Yeah,
because there's no denying that the talent is still there.
yeah,
Because even against this match against Barcelona, they still had good chances and they create decent football because they are talented players. It's just that if you could get the right players in, get the obviously the troublesome players out, and bring in the right coach and get the right atmosphere, they could play well and they could win. But it's just, will they do that? I doubt it because they're gonna stick to what, like you said, Vinny Jr. marketability, all the players that have high market value to sell more jerseys. It just, dude, that's not what we need right now.
keep in mind that I think it's also in the midst of Florentino Perez trying to sell the club from being a like what is it, fan
It's
owned or
a
whatever.
it's a yeah, it's a members club. It's like Barcelona where the member or the club or where is it called?
But
The members
he's
own.
pushing for a sell for a private owner, right?
He's trying to sell it where the members will still have a like 50%, but the other 50% will be owned by like a private equity company where they'll just inject funds into the team.
So that's what I think Florentino's trying to do. And I mentioned it before that he's just trying to raise the club's value as much as he can so he can get the most amount of money for that 50% sale. So it's going to be interesting for these next couple of years for Real Madrid fans. I know you don't seem too excited about it because you see like there's no solution with the current board.
Yeah, because it's like I mentioned before, like this is just it's just a cycle. It's like the same thing that happened towards the end of Florentino Perez's first term at Real Madrid, where the Galacticos they were failing, they were fighting. Another president had to come in and sort of stabilize and bring in some foundation, and then that allowed when Florentino Perez to come in to like springboard off of that and bring in like great players, like because he had that great summer 2009 where he brought Ronaldo, he brought Xavi Alonso, a good midfielder, uh, a young Benzema, like all these players. Like he wasn't just focusing on like the hot names, he was focusing on players that would actually help the team. Because like Xavi Alonso wouldn't have never been like that sexy pick for like other teams, but like he was very crucial for that midfield.
Definitely. But nonetheless, Barcelona's back-to-back La Liga titles. Everything the world is restored, Jesse. We are
Hmm.
on the good ending. Um, but yeah, we'll go on to transfer news. There's a couple of them.
Oh,
Barcelona, go ahead.
Johnny Cardoso injury out of the World Cup. Sad to see.
And it was a bad tackle from what Jesse was telling me,
Yeah,
from a teammate.
in training, that's the worst because
Where
you're
again, you're not competing against anything. You're out of the Champions League. The La Liga race is over. You're not in danger of losing your Champions League spot. Why are you tackling that hard to potentially make a player lose their spot
yeah,
for the World
that's
Cup?
as a player, as a person, that's the worst feeling because you're just like, why? Like literally, why? Like this close to the World Cup, you're doing this to me. It's like it's hard to get over, especially as a person, because you're just like you can still with that, especially when you're recovering and you're just watching the World Cup at home. You're just like, that should have been me there.
Yeah, exactly. So now he's gonna have to potentially wait another 4 years, and then again, you don't know with the U.S. national team if he'll get another opportunity. But yeah, he was also a pretty good player. I think he had a decent season. He was an undoubted starter for this Atletico Madrid side at one point before his major injury, but it's nice to see.
Yep.
Transfer news, Jesse. Have you heard anything juicy or insane?
No, just my wishes, my fantasies.
I saw Barcelona still teetering with Man U for Marcus Rashford. They want to negotiate down the 30 million price tag. I don't think they'll be successful at it, to be honest.
Yeah, I've seen from Barcelona. There's rumors of Rooney Bargi going out. I've
On
seen
loan.
some for sell
Mm.
for big profit for like 50 mil because you guys signed him for 20 or
For
whatever.
2 million.
Yeah, and then selling Ferran to get that big striker you guys want, either Julian Alvarez or Osimhen.
I think Alvarez is out of the picture. There's also rumors of the Rayo Vallecano right back coming back in because I think even if a huge offer for Koundé comes through, I think Liverpool's interested. Barcelona's definitely going to sell him because he hasn't
Yeah.
had the best season and looks to be struggling somewhat at the right back position. So just reinforcing that Eddie Garcia seems to stay.
Yeah,
Um,
both fullbacks have been somewhat transfer listed or being made available because I know Balde's also
mhm.
had a horrendous season and Barca fans aren't happy with him and they're saying that he's been linked with the Premier League move away. Similar with Marc Casado, he's basically fallen out of the picture,
Yeah.
and Bernat has really stepped up and has proven himself the superior option. So he's been made available to help facilitate more transfers for Barca, especially in the defensive side.
Yeah, for sure. So there's a couple of things in the works. I think Bastoni deal might have fallen through because I think they're gonna go for the Han is it Hamburg? Hamburg.
No, they're linked to the
Vuskovic.
Spurs because he's on loan at Hamburg from Spurs,
Yeah.
and they're trying to keep him. But it's been hindered by Spurs' recent results because if they were going to go to relegation, that you guys were going to try poach him.
hmm
But now that they're saying the Premier League, or it looks like they might say in the Premier League that he might stay.
Yeah, because it's
That's
weird. It's weird for Tottenham, and I understand from them too. Because Romero is pretty much out. Van de Beek
yes,
has a bunch of offers, so you're gonna have to have Vuskovic if you do stay in the Premier League. You're gonna keep him.
yeah. So it looks like that's not going to happen.
Yeah. So again, there's a bunch of center backs in the look, so we'll see what happens. What about Real Madrid? What are they looking at? Another winger?
What it's been looking like Endrick and Nico Pass are almost all but confirmed coming back. Raheem has offers abroad. They might be looked away, and I know Gonzalo Garcia is looking to be sold.
So yeah, Mo Salah is linked to Fenerbahce. He's looking to stay in Europe. I think Turkey pays their players pretty well. They have poached a lot of huge European stars like Ederson, Edson Alvarez, and company. But yeah, is there any other transfer news that you wanted to talk about, Jesse?
Nothing really. It's a lot of just mostly rumors going around. Nothing really substantial or like holding weight. Like last year, we saw some things that were pretty much confirmed. So far, nothing's been similar to that. Everything's just speculation. It looks like a lot of teams are just waiting for after the World Cup to see how things play out. and also because of injuries usually happen at the World Cup, so no one wants to sign a player and then goes to the World Cup and comes in with an injury, and you're just like, ah, well, gotta get another, get someone to replace him.
You know
So
what I just
yeah,
remembered about? Rodrigo. Like you guys were planning to sell him this summer, but now
yeah,
you can't.
he got an injury.
Crazy. Unfortunate. But yeah.
Oh, the Neymar thing, he might be coming to where is it? What did you say? What team?
Atlas. Atlas recently, there used to be a multi-ownership group. Now they just narrowed it down to one because they bought him out. And the owner is looking to bring in Neymar, which has an expiring contract of December 2026. So I think Neymar has taken the call and they might be going into negotiations, but we'll see if it happens. I know
Yeah,
Neymar's probably gonna have a bunch of holidays like February. He doesn't play at all. That's
yeah,
his birthday and Carnival at the same time, but it'll be pretty cool to see if Liga MX gets some.
yeah. And this is after the recent drama he's had with Robinho's son, where he got in a fight with him and led to a lot of internal locker room struggle with that, and then potentially Robinho's son leaving Santos because of the whole situation. So,
Do you think Robinho's son is in the wrong?
I think maybe the way he's handled the second part, because the way how he's demanding the apology publicly,
Yeah.
I feel like if it was he just handled like he asked for an apology and then just like privately and handled it that way, I think that would be, better. But like the way he's handled like, oh, I want a public apology and things like that, I think he's pushing it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because there's normally in sports you do mess with the rookies a lot, and him being a rookie and Neymar being Neymar, um, you're bound to get like hazed. And for him to be like, no, I want an apology publicly is a little dramatic.
Yeah.
Especially because it's like, bro, you're the rookie. You're gonna be treated like this throughout the whole season. If you're gonna act like this right now, then probably this club isn't for you.
But yeah, I just think they're both in the wrong for the way that obviously Neymar handled it and like everything else. But I just think Robinho's son isn't helping himself by the way he's handling that,
Yeah, man. Football's a crazy
especially in
world.
Brazil where like Neymar's like held to such a high degree.
Definitely.
Think, think about it, the a billionaire left him his fortune just because he's Neymar Jr.
I
That's
know,
insane.
bro, to have that. Maybe that's why, like, again, I mentioned it before the podcast that I think Neymar's not really focused too much on football right now. I think he's just kind of enjoying his life. And you just said it too, like, he's just spending money like crazy and enjoying
Yeah,
himself.
yeah,
What can you do? But yeah,
yeah.
go ahead, Jesse.
Oh no, no, no. I was just gonna
End it.
say, yeah.
End it, dude. Hit the Nexus.
All right. Yeah, so this has been a Play On podcast with your hosts Jerry and Jesse. This was episode 111. Please leave a like and subscribe. Hit your notification button and leave a comment and share with your friend. Make the family bigger. But yeah, this has been us. Peace.
Peace.